Hey, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. Been away for a few days. I've moved. If you can probably tell, I'm in a whole new place in Dubai. I'm in the sort of downtown area. But you're not here for that. You're here to learn about what's going on in crypto, what's going on with our fancy airdrops. So that's what we're going to talk about. Before we get into it, just remember, nothing I say here is financial advice. Please do your own research. I'm just a guy on YouTube. But while you're at it, make sure you hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter where this is going live. And you see, I'm getting the numbers up as I do post consistently on Twitter these days. Check out my wallet onto bank. You see that I'm stacking ETH. I'll tell you guys, earlier today, I let the Web3 Secret Society know that I did make a purchase of 95,000 Pepe on Binance Spot. But if you want some of those sort of signals and sort of know exactly what's going on, get extra coaching, guidance, and support, just so you know, in about 14 days, I'm increasing the price for all new members. Links to all these things are in the description below. Now, we have had a very pivotal day. The idea here, or not even day, but the last couple days, given that, we have had the FOMC meeting and we found out that they were going to keep rates flat. Now, obviously not super bullish. Obviously, if rates were cut and they weren't cut too drastically, because that would be like something's clearly wrong, then we would say, okay, things are great, kind of bullish. However, the charts did not break down. In fact, the charts started to go up. So we potentially can start to see this rally. In fact, this is why I did buy the $95,000 worth of Pepe, is because I started to see Ethereum move in the right direction. If we broke down, that would have been bad, below 3,050 or whatever. But things are good. Obviously, don't go all in, sort of, continue to accumulate. That's sort of our plan here. Cycle is still going on. Now, even though EU is kind of being jackasses around Bitcoin adoption, it was very good to see that the Czech Republic has in fact followed up on what they were discussing the day before, which is around a strategic Bitcoin reserve. It's gotten approved. So these guys, even though they're in Europe, are doing it. I think this is a fantastic signal, very bullish for crypto, especially Bitcoin. And, hopefully we're going to see a cascading effect. The reason this is so important, and the reason that, Trump and the US administration want Bitcoin and are having a strategic reserve is to make sure that they can compete with other nations who may have exposure as well to the asset. Because if other countries are able to accumulate a lot of wealth from Bitcoin and certain nations opt out of it, they're not hedged to the upside. And that's really why this is such a big deal. Now, the markets are doing okay. Like, obviously, this is not as great as it was at the end of December, where Ethereum's at 4K, but Bitcoin's at 105K, Ethereum's at 3.25K, not bad. Kind of retraced a bit of that weekly down. XRP is up to 314. Sol sitting there in the range at 240. BNB's at 680, close to breaking out that 690. But not bad. All coins are still waiting on the signal from Ethereum. I believe when Ethereum finally does that signal to rocket, the rest of the alt market will rocket too. So you're seeing a lot of news on the timeline, a lot of FUD, a lot of people being scared. And, people, I hear the craziest things all the time. Oh, there's no alt season or anything like that. No, there is going to be an altcoin season. It just won't be the one that makes every token go up. In the past, we had much fewer tokens. So Francesco wrote this tweet. I thought it was worthwhile showing you guys. Basically, it's definitely the hardest cycle. This is my third cycle. I found it to be the toughest. People I've talked to who are in their fourth cycle have said things are just not playing out the way you expect in the time you're expecting. So if you feel kind of like distraught and this is your first or second cycle, don't feel bad. Even the veterans are kind of like, what's going on? We just got to sort of hold and be patient. The reality is we never had an on-chain casino in the past, right? Like, now we have pump fund and a bunch of other shit derivatives. And yes, they are shit derivatives because they are basically extracting money from the ecosystem. Like, somebody did the math. I believe the pump fund is taking out over 100x the amount of money from the ecosystem that Ethereum Foundation is when they're selling Ethereum, right? Pump fund is a cancer to this ecosystem. The problem is the people who are at the top, the people who are making money off this, keep promoting it because for them, it's fantastic. They can use their people as exit liquidity. As long as that continues, as long as those people are allowed to do it, because they say, what, game is game, right? Well, they're going to take advantage and extract money from people as much as possible. So this is why millions of tokens are being launched. And now, because of that, it makes it impossible to hold. One thing that I was saying on the timeline earlier as well was that literally every single day a new grift shows up and they want to be able to convince you to sell your soul and your Ethereum, your XRP, whatever it may be, your high conviction bags. And the reason they do this is because they can't take your money if it's sitting in Bitcoin and Sol or ETH. They need to convince you to get on chain, to sort of get into DeFi and use it. If you use it and you change it to some junk that they can now sell and buy their thing, that's the way to do it. In the old days, like, last cycle and the cycle before, what you'd have is people would basically collect Bitcoin, right? You'd have Bitcoin, you'd collect it, and you go, great. Everything I do, if I'm selling some Bitcoin for some ETH, I'm going to use this ETH to make some profits, sell all of it back to Bitcoin. And the idea was you would stack Bitcoin, right? That was the idea. Why? Because that is the number one asset in the space. What's happened ever since is you've got a ton of people on crypto Twitter who have built up a following, scamming, rugging, whatever it may be. And by doing so, they built cults, right? Like, look at Murad's cult. Murad's cult, they're down 75% of their tokens. And he's like, oh, believe in something, hold on to it. And what he really means by that is, you hold on to it, I'm going to sell, but thank you so much. Really appreciate you guys paying for my family and our bloodline to be retired. That's what a lot of people are doing. They're basically transferring their paycheck and hoping that you're okay with it, right? And I'm sorry for going on a little too long on this, but basically what I want you to take away from everything I'm saying here is, because of what's going on, people just don't have the patience to hold tokens anymore. Think about narratives that come up. Every time the narrative comes up, it takes liquidity from something and it's done in an hour, right? Rotations last a couple of hours, right? Back in the day, you could buy and hold and believe in something real. Now what's happening? Nope. People just want you to believe in something. You jump in after everyone else. They rug it. They take all their money out. They go to the next thing. And they repeat this again and again and again. And because of this, they have a very strong cabal. There's a few people, VCs, funds, scammers. They do this very well now. And you literally have no competitive edge if you choose to fight them in that terrain. Why would you fight a battle that you can't win? I'm going to share right here as well something I posted on Twitter as well the other day, which is our culture is full of contradictions, right? The first is bag bias. People will gaslight you to hold your tokens until they're literal zero. They're going to tell you, oh, bro, just be patient, man. Don't you want to change your life? Just be patient. Hold. Believe in something. The reality is that works for good stuff, not for trash. They're only telling you to hold on to garbage because if you hold on to garbage, their bags are protected, right? Because you buy higher than them. And then eventually, once it becomes worthless, they'll say, oh, man, you should have DYOR'd, bro. What am I telling you? You should know DYOR. Next time, just use better risk management. Honestly, this happens with all the time. Just take a look at a bunch of tokens that people propped up. GOAT, I said it was terrible, right? I didn't touch that stuff. Or maybe I bought a tiny bit early, but I sold it. Popcat, trash. So many other trash like Moodang that have all literally gone to zero. Look at all the influencers who pushed it. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. They're on the next thing. They're not going to come tell you anything. They went and deleted their tweets and everything. But if you use the Wayback Machine, you can find it. What's even worse, though, is defending scammers. No matter how obvious the rug pull, people just refuse to believe they got scammed or rugged. And what they'll do is, in a self-defense mechanism, they don't attack people doing the crime. They attack the accusers, because if they admit that their token is rugged or scammed, that means their token is doomed. Their money is gone. They can't do it. They can't FUD their bags. This is why DeFi Kingdoms, which, DeFi Kingdoms going to get astray here, but DeFi Kingdoms, massive, slow rug. The team has basically been farming their users. There's very few users left. The ones who are left are down $50, $60, $100,000 maybe, you know what I mean? And they're going to just keep saying, no, everybody who's saying this is a liar, we're going to $100 a token so I can be a billionaire off this and whatever. The reality is these guys are broke and they're refusing to accept that their bags are worthless. If they admit it, then no one's going to buy it. So they need to fool people. I saw this happen most recently with Unicorn Fart Dust. I have zero reason to believe this Ron guy did not sell on his community. I don't care what anyone says. You show me the incentive and I can show you the behavior, right? Millions of dollars. Are you kidding me? This guy has nothing. And obviously he's going to dump on his community to get the money. And people once again are like, well, they're bag holding, their tokens are down. Let's just believe his drain story, even though like the guy was clearly not distraught, had to do a second take because it didn't look like he was upset. It's pretty obvious, like Occam's razor, right? The most simple explanation is the correct one. The final one is, this one you can all change, speculating versus investing in majors. When I was talking about, putting like 60 to 80% of my portfolio in Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol, some of you said, okay, yeah, that's cool, whatever. Most of you called me an idiot. Most of you said, hey, why aren't you buying altcoins here? What are you, stupid? And guess what? All my ones have gone up and most of the alts have basically treaded water or went down, right? Take a look at C. Take a look at Polygon, right? They've done horribly. The reality is, if you invest in the majors, you are basically saying, I'm definitely going to make it because these are the most solid tokens. They're the ones that have the most power. That's why, even though Ethereum hasn't really done well, Ethereum is still up a lot more than a lot of other tokens are, just in general. Same with Sol, right? And when you have it like this, these majors protect the rest of your portfolio. I'm okay with putting 20% into speculative bets, but a lot of people put like 90, 100% into speculation, and you're literally just going to crash out if things don't go the way you need them to. Now, the last thing I'll say here as well is when you get airdrops, please use them to bolster your high conviction stock bags. Stop gambling, stop bag holding trash. Just build your portfolio. And something I sort of said on Twitter as well yesterday is a lot of times when I have coaching clients, right? Coaching clients will come to me and I will see like a list. I had 3 coaching calls today, right? One of them did this. Basically, here's a list of like 50, 60 tokens I have. And I can easily see which ones are like, airdrops, right? And I'm like, why are you holding this? Oh, well, it's free money, whatever. I always say the same thing, which is, if you had this money in cash, would you buy this token? Every time the answer is no. And what happens is you sell. Literally. Ask yourself, whenever you get an airdrop, if I got this $1,000 airdrop and it was in cash, would I buy this token? Most likely you're going to say no. So what are you going to do? What should you do? Sell it. Take the cash. Buy something you believe in. Don't buy garbage. Don't hold on to garbage. Airdrops, with the exception of Hype and I think Grass, they all tend towards zero, given enough time. Just so you guys know, there's an update on Pudgy Penguins. I'll let you just know that my Pudgy is now enrolled as, didn't get a really good role in Squid Games, but he's part of the Squid Games because he's got to earn his keep, and the price of Pudgy Penguins has gotten destroyed. So he's out there trying to help me out. And just so you know, just take a look at this. From 27 Ethereum 3 weeks ago, Pudgies are now worth 11.25. And this is a lot to do with the abstract ecosystem. I'm going to talk a bit about that after. What's happened was people were very disappointed with abstract. And because of it, it has caused a large-scale liquidation on Blur. I'm going to explain this to you so you guys kind of understand how this works, because this can protect you in the future if you're buying NFTs. Always check Blur to see how much leverage is in the system. You want to see how many NFTs are being lent out, because here's what happened. If you had a Pudgy Penguin and you bought it for like 15 ETH, let's say, okay? And you were speculating on some price going up and you wanted to get a bunch of them. What you would do is you'd buy it at 15, you'd lend it out, and you'd borrow a bunch of ETH. Maybe you get 12 ETH or whatever. Then you buy another Pudgy Penguin and you keep doing this ad nauseum until you had enough Pudgy Penguins, right? Because what you're doing by doing this is you're buying up the floor. So you're propping the price up and you're hoping that there's a catalyst like there was with the Penguin airdrop for it to skyrocket. So what happens is the price goes up, They got all these things, and then they sort of pay off one, they sell it, they pay off one, they sell it, they pay off one, they sell it. They make a ton of ETH. But the converse happens too. In this case, the catalyst did not materialize. It completely dumped. Instead of stopping at 14 though, or 15, it literally just triggered like 70 or 80 liquidations all the way down, because eventually got to a point where people were not going to be repaying their loan. Why? Because they were underwater. What happens is, if you're looking at it and your LTV is horrible on a loan, why would somebody pay you back 11 ETH or 13 ETH on the loan or 15 ETH on the loan when you could buy it off the floor for 11? You just wouldn't. You say, okay, hey, take my NFT. This is where the trustless aspect comes in. So we just saw wide scale liquidation, and this brought the price down. Okay. Couple updates for airdrops. Number one is ILOOP finance. So you can go in here and you can check your airdrop allocation. If you did the IDO, that's also available to be claimed soon. Just a heads up, if you have a ledger, which you should hopefully with your Sol wallets, you will not be able to claim. You need to go into the Discord and open up a ticket, okay? Next update here is OpenSea. So OpenSea, somehow, they promised us something in December. In January, like late January, they come to us with a message saying, hey, snapshot complete, blah, 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 blah. If you're holding a Genesis NFT at this date, you now have access to a private beta. Basically, they're putting people into a wait list to farm the OpenSea airdrop. So it doesn't even look like people who benefited or people who were farming it before are going to get any rewards, which kind of sucks, right? Because a lot of us had done a lot of volume in here. So it is what it is. Another update for you guys as well. So I shared this update last time, which was basically on the solid snapshot. So the snapshot happened today at 12 p.m. UTC. As you know, you can go in here and sort of adjust your score beforehand. Now you find out what tier you're in, how much solid token you get. They did delay the airdrop by 24 hours so they can fine-tune the claim and lock process and welcome thousands of new beta users. Tell you guys one thing, when I get my solid, I will be selling 100% of it, just so you know. Next update here is for anybody who hasn't claimed their Pengu. The claim period ends in 5 days. So I think it's bullish because anyone who would have claimed would have already done it. And basically any supply that's unclaimed will be burned, which is bullish for existing holders. And you can, you got 5 days to go to claim.pudgypenguins.com and check it out. Let me tell you something. I did buy a Pudgy and I want to 100% make sure that it didn't have an allocation, and it didn't, but you never know, right? Next update is on KAITO. So guys, KAITO is something that I've been talking about for quite a bit of time. I'll be very transparent with you. I'm going to basically get $100 every single week from KAITO by selling my yaps, which is pretty sick. Like I don't even have that many yaps, like 40 something. And basically it's like a little over like 40, but basically you can sell your yaps through YapTrade DAO. And what's going to happen is projects want this. Why? So they can compete to earn their own leaderboard. These leaderboards are worth like probably $1 million plus in terms of their marketing, right? Like think about traditional marketing campaigns. So I'm open to bribes. I'm sure it's gonna get more competitive. You can see here that OG is leading Mega ETH. The guy from Mega ETH was not happy about this. What I will say, if you have yaps and you feel bad about being bribed, listen, a lot of these projects, they can't reward your loyalty, not because they don't want to, they just can't. How many times have you been passed over for a whitelist for a project that you've been supporting since day one? This happens. So don't feel bad about taking your money. That's the reality. Don't feel bad. It's your money. You take it. So $100 or whatever you get for your yaps, the rate's like 1.75 per yap plus whatever. So not bad. I cannot wait for the KAITO Genesis NFTs to be included, because that should add a huge wrinkle to the mix, given that the NFTs are 1,500 and count for 50% of the voting power. Now, next update is the Turbo Tap has boosts available. So you can add boosts now if you'd like to your Turbo Tap. I know a lot of people have been clicking, trying to earn some extra grass or passive grass, or not extra grass, but just grass in general. You go to Turbo Tap. I have some assets here. I don't like clicking. I think I did like 100 clicks. I'm at 313,000, but I will be adding my boost after. I have a passive grass of 1.11K per hour. One thing I do want to talk to you guys about, I don't remember if I mentioned this. I might have mentioned this on an AMA. Please, I mean, I'm not even please, but really consider using Polymarket every so often to try to farm the Polymarket airdrop. I was one of those people who use Airbnb very, very rarely. I had friends who use it a lot more. And when they had their IPO, my friend made killer. I got a tiny allocation. But this is something you definitely want to look into because Polymarket is the normie friendly version of crypto. It's a normie friendly crypto app. The reality is, I know a lot of people who touch crypto who know everything about Polymarket, right? So I would say you are way better off checking this out, taking some decent bets, right? Like I'll give you an example. Like I thought Mark Carney would be the leader of the Liberal Party, right? And it's gone up a lot. I basically buy it and I sell it. So you can sell it at a profit. You don't have to wait for the play to kind of come out. You can just trade the range. So, okay, you buy it when it's 50%, you sell it when it's 70%, or even 52%, whatever. You get the volume in here. I think it's great. I really think no one's really talking about it. I think it's really worthwhile. I've been doing this for a few months. And the last update here is on Abstract. So guys, I'll just be straight up and honest with you. I was shooting a video for Abstract and I realized that honestly, this is not too impressive. People will tell me, oh my God, it's revolutionary. It's amazing. $3 million in tips. I don't really believe that. That's nonsense. But I think, hey, like if you have time and you have liquidity, go ahead and put some money in here and sort of play around with the ecosystem. What I would recommend you do if you are interested, by the way, is I have included the thread from Whale Mocha. That shows you how much I care about this. I'm just going to link this to you. You can check this out. Basically, you connect your wallet, you connect your X account and Discord account, and then you want to collect some badges. So there's some badges you can collect and everything else like that. It's all in here. There's a round of multiplier. So here's the thing. Multiplier on day one when it came out, you couldn't get any invite codes. Pretty much a joke. Definitely want to check it out. And then you can also find some secret badges as well. So definitely do that. There's a whole list here. If you're interested in being part of an Abstract and try to farm this airdrop, which like I said, I don't think it'll really be worth it, you can go into their Discord and get some more information. What I recommend you do though is when you sign up, you get this weird thing like you get your wallet, right? So you get a wallet address, and trying to send money from one wallet to another is a pain. Also, you can only send funds on the Abstract network here, so do not do it any other way. What I do is I take my address, copy it, and when I go to Jumper, I can bridge from anything like any other like network to Abstract, and I pick this like button over here, which allows me to send to a different wallet and put it here. That allows me to send the funds without having to do any of the other BS. Okay, see what's in the comments, what's going on. Jordan's in the house. Hope the new place treating you well. Yeah, it's not bad. This is 10,000 Canadian a month to rent, but it's very nice. I'm on the top floor of a business building, so I walk out like this to go to the gym, and people are in suits and dresses. They're all like dressed in nines, man. It's crazy. Like the video, guys. Yeah, make sure you hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, because if you want this content, if you want somebody who will be a trusted source, who's not going to come here trying to like engagement farm, guys, I could literally make a video every hour if I wanted to, tell you to do a bunch of BS. I will not do that. Your time is valuable. I want to make sure I respect your time. Support me because I'm the kind of person you want making content. Okay. GN, because your time zone. Thank you. Good night. It is 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. Good morning. Hey, Fudd. How's it going? Hey, Sad K. Pull out the Occam's razor. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people don't know about it, but I mean, it is what it is, right? Hey, BG, question for you. Is it safe having a lot of deposit on Camino when it's not as battle tested? I mean, relatively it's not as safe as Aave, but it is very safe. Like I said, here's the thing that you have to realize. Camino Finance, you don't want to leave stuff on there like during the bear, but during the bull cycle, you should be fine. Okay? Like I said, I still sort of cap it. Aave, I'm comfortable putting hundreds of thousands. On Camino Finance, I probably put like 30 or 40, but it's up to you, right? Jack Edwin, staking is a trap to get you not to sell. That's exactly right. So what staking does, and this is why I hate it, staking gets you to reduce sell pressure on the token, right, by taking this out of supply, removes your flexibility, so completely agree, and then they dilute the token because usually the APR isn't the same token. So they make it so if you don't stake, your token value is going down over time, right, because you're not earning it. And then like, what exactly is the point? What do you get out of it? Nothing. It's a joke. This is why the Cosmos ecosystem sucks, because they just completely diluted their token, made people not flexible, and then we're like, oh, well, why don't people like it? That's why look at Adam's price is indicative of the sentiment of the ecosystem. But I completely agree with you, Jack. Have I tried the lobster buffet at the Palm Desert and Lobster? I have. So I've stayed at the Palm. So this is like the Palm, the Atlantis, right? So yeah, I've stayed there. I didn't do the lobster buffet. I went to Miku or whatever. Like, it's like the very expensive restaurant at the top. I made sure I paid extra, and you pay a certain amount at the menu, and they give you like a really nice view. It's pretty sick. Hope Hyperlane tycoonizes soon. Yeah, they have their IDO in like 19 days, I think, which kind of sucks, because what that means is like it's gonna be a lot of sell pressure already, right? So who knows? 3.5 for Stewie was a great time to borrow. Yeah, no, fantastic. What a fantastic. Remember, these buying opportunities don't come around too often, right? Waiting 30 days for my Jupiter on stake with Brutal. Yeah. I mean, on the bright side, Jupiter did have some fantastic updates. I'll probably do another video on Jupiter specifically, but yeah, no, they're great. Hopefully, I get the good cats allocation. We don't know though. Chris M, swap some of my ETH for Sol. Tired of. It's funny. Like I said, Sol's great. I think ETH's gonna have an insane rally. So I've been buying 1 ETH every single day and about 95K worth of Pepe earlier tonight. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Until next time, like all the content, share the video, follow me on either Twitter or YouTube or both, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.